Hi, everyone. I'm Alex, and welcome back to the channel. If you're learning English and want to talk about your daily life like a native speaker, not just memorize phrases, then this video is for you. Today, you're going to learn how to describe your daily routine in a natural, confident way. This is one of the most useful topics in English because you can use it in everyday conversations, job interviews, school, and even when traveling. You'll learn sentence patterns that sound real, practice listening and speaking, build full paragraphs, and switch between tenses like a pro. So if you want to speak English more fluently and naturally, stay until the end. And don't forget to hit subscribe and the bell icon so you never miss a lesson. Now, let's talk about why routines are such a powerful tool for language learners. Talking about your daily habits helps you build rhythm in your speech. It gives you structure, and it lets you practice repetition, which is key when learning any language. You'll also get comfortable using real-life verbs and time expressions like in the morning, after work, or before bed. And here's a myth we need to bust. My life is boring. Nope, that's not true. With the right words and expressions, even the simplest day can sound interesting. So, whether you wake up at 5 a.m. or sleep until noon on weekends, you've got something worth talking about. In the next part, we'll dive into morning routines, and you'll start building your own sentences from scratch. Let's start with the beginning of your day, your morning routine. This is where many English learners begin building confidence.
Why?
Because mornings are full of clear, repeatable actions, and that makes them perfect for practicing natural English. We'll focus on three key elements: grammar, the simple present tense; time expressions, like at 7 a.m., after breakfast, before work; adverbs of frequency, words like always, usually, often, sometimes, rarely, and never. These help you talk about what you do every day and how often you do it. Example phrases. Here are some natural-sounding examples. I usually wake up around 6:30. I rarely hit snooze anymore. I always brush my teeth before breakfast. Notice how each sentence includes a verb in the simple present, a time expression, and an adverb of frequency. That's the formula we're going to use. Activity, shadowing exercise. Now, let's practice speaking like a native speaker, not just reading or listening. I'll say a sentence. Pause the video, then repeat after me, matching my rhythm and pronunciation. Ready? 1. I usually wake up at 6:30. 2. I never skip breakfast. 3. I always check my phone first thing in the morning.
Great.
You just practiced real English used by native speakers every day. Sentence Builder Challenge. Now build your own sentences using these connectors. First, I wake up. Then I take a shower. After that, I have breakfast. Finally, I get dressed and leave for work. Try putting together your own version. Don't worry if it's simple. The goal is to sound natural. Personalization task. Swap out my example times and actions with your real habits. Instead of saying, I usually wake up at 6:30, maybe you wake up at 7 o'clock, or even 9 o'clock on weekends. Make it personal, make it real, and you'll remember it longer. In the next part, we'll move on to getting ready and going out, where you'll learn how to describe your commute and add more detail to your routine. Stay with me, because talking about your daily life doesn't have to be boring. It can be powerful, personal, and even fun. Once you're up and moving, it's time to get ready and head out. This part of your day is full of opportunities to use real English, from describing how you dress to telling people how long your commute takes. Let's make it sound natural. Vocabulary focus. Commute verbs. Here are some common verbs used when talking about your commute. I walk to work. I drive to school. I take the bus. I catch the train. You can also combine these with time expressions to give more detail.
For example,
it takes me about 20 minutes to get to work. I usually leave home around 8 o'clock. These phrases help people understand your daily rhythm, and they're super useful for conversations. Example phrases. Let me show you how to put this together. I usually leave home around 7:45. It takes me about 30 minutes to get to work by bus. On Fridays, I drive because traffic is lighter. Notice how each sentence includes a verb, a time expression, and sometimes an adverb. That's the key to sounding natural. Activity, mini story challenge. Now it's your turn. Create a short story using 3 sentences that describe how you get ready and how you go out in the morning.
Try something like,
1. After breakfast, I get dressed. 2. I usually leave the house at 8:15. 3. It takes me about 25 minutes to get to work by train. Make sure to include a verb like leave, take, get dressed, a time expression, maybe an adverb, usually, sometimes, etc. Swap and speak. Now, try changing one part of your sentence. Swap the verb, the time, or the transport method. For example, instead of I take the train, say I walk to work. Instead of I leave at 8:15, say I leave at 7:30. This helps you think on your feet, which is exactly what you need for real-life conversations. In the next part, we'll move into the work or school day, where you'll learn how to structure your midday routine using transition words and sequence markers. So stay tuned, because you're building a full day in English, step by step. Now that you're up, dressed, and on your way, let's talk about what happens during your work or school day. This part of your routine is all about structure, sequence, and flow. And the best way to describe it naturally in English? Use transition words and sequence markers. Grammar focus, transition words, and sequence markers. These are small but powerful tools that help your sentences flow smoothly. Here are some key ones. First, I check my emails. Next, I start working on my main tasks. After that, I have meetings. Later, I take a break and grab a coffee. Then, I continue working until lunch. Because I'm focused in the morning, I get more done. Using these helps you sound organized, clear, and natural, just like native speakers do when they explain their day. Example phrases. Let's look at some real-life examples. I start working at 9 o'clock and check my emails. After lunch, I have meetings until 2. In the afternoon, I usually focus on smaller tasks. Because I work from home, I can take breaks when I need to. These aren't just random sentences, they follow a pattern. And once you know the pattern, you can build your own. Activity, routine builder. Now it's your turn. Use transition words to create a short paragraph describing your work or school day.
try something like,
First, I arrive at work around 9 o'clock. Next, I check my emails and plan my day. After that, I start working on my main projects. Later, I have meetings with my team. Then, I finish up any remaining tasks before heading home. You don't need to be perfect, just practice putting your actions in order using those transitions. Role play prompt. Imagine you're telling a new coworker or classmate about your daily schedule. Use your paragraph and try speaking it out loud. Make eye contact with the camera or mirror. Pretend you're really having that conversation. This kind of practice builds confidence and fluency faster than just reading or writing alone. In the next part, we'll dive into time expressions and how to make your English sound even more natural. You'll learn the difference between at 9 o'clock and around 9 and how to mix time expressions with frequency words. So don't go anywhere, because this will level up your speaking skills. Now that you've built your morning and midday routine, it's time to make your English sound even more natural. And one of the best ways to do that? Mastering time expressions. Native speakers don't always say exactly what time they do something. Sometimes they use approximate times and mix them with frequency words. Let's break it down. Vocabulary focus. Exact versus approximate times. Here are two ways to talk about time. Exact time. I start work at 9 o'clock. I have lunch at 12:30. Approximate time, soft time. I usually start work around 9. I have lunch at about 12:30. Using phrases like around, about, or after makes your English sound more relaxed and conversational. Frequency plus time combo. You can also combine time expressions with how often you do something. For example, I usually wake up at 7. Sometimes I eat breakfast after 8. I rarely go for a walk before 6. This combo helps you sound more natural and less robotic. Instead of just listing events like a robot, you're describing your life like a real person, which is exactly what native speakers do. Activity, time match game. Let's play a quick matching game. Match the phrase to the correct clock time. 1. Around 9 o'clock. 2. At 10:30. 3. About 2 p.m. 4. After lunch. 5. Usually at 11. Pause the video and write your answers if you're practicing on your own. Real-time speaking practice. Now, describe your daily schedule using both exact and approximate times. Try saying something like, I usually get up around 7 o'clock. I have breakfast at 7:30 and I leave home at about 8:15. My first meeting starts around 9 o'clock. This kind of mix shows that you understand how people really speak, not just textbook English. In the next part, we'll add some personality to your routine by learning how to express feelings and opinions. Because talking about your day isn't just about actions, it's about how you feel and what you think. So far, you've built your morning, described your commute, structured your work or school day, and added natural time expressions. Now it's time to make your English sound more like you by adding feelings and opinions. Because talking about your routine isn't just listing what you do. It's also about how you feel when you do it and why. That's what makes your English more engaging, personal, and native-like. Example phrases. Here are some natural ways to express feelings and opinions. I feel refreshed after my morning coffee. I hate waking up early, but it helps me stay productive. I love having lunch outside when the weather is nice. I always feel tired after meetings. I prefer to work in the morning because I'm more focused. These phrases help people understand not just your actions, but your personality too. Grammar tip: linking feelings and actions. You can connect your feelings and opinions to parts of your routine using simple structures like I feel plus adjective. I feel energized after my workout. I love/hate/enjoy plus verb ing. I hate getting stuck in traffic. I prefer to plus base verb. I prefer to check emails first thing in the morning. Use these patterns to mix emotions with your daily actions. Activity, emotion cards. Let's practice. Imagine you have emotion cards like
happy, tired, stressed,
relaxed, focused. Pick one and attach it to part of your day. For example, I feel relaxed after my evening walk. I feel stressed during morning meetings. Try doing this for at least 2 to 3 parts of your day. Opinion round. Now, pick one part of your routine and explain why you like or dislike it. Ask yourself, why do I enjoy this? What makes it difficult? How does it affect my day? Then say it out loud using phrases like, I really like, I don't enjoy, it makes me feel. This kind of speaking builds fluency and confidence because you're not just describing your life, you're sharing it. In the next part, we'll move into the afternoon habits, from lunch to chill time, where you'll learn new verbs and phrasal verbs that native speakers use every day. So stay tuned, because your English is becoming more colorful, natural, and uniquely yours. So far, you've built your morning, structured your workday, and added feelings and opinions. Now, let's talk about what happens after lunch, your afternoon habits. This part of the day is full of everyday actions that native speakers use all the time, like relaxing, watching something, meeting friends, or getting things done. And today, you'll learn how to describe it using natural verbs and phrasal verbs. Vocabulary focus, common afternoon verbs and phrasal verbs. Here are some useful verbs and phrases to describe what you do in the afternoon. Cook. I usually cook something light for lunch. Relax. After lunch, I like to relax for a bit. Watch. I often watch a show while eating. Meet. Sometimes I meet friends in the afternoon. Clean. I clean my workspace before heading home. And here's some common phrasal verbs you'll hear native speakers use. Hang out. I hang out with friends after work. Wind down. I start to wind down around 4 p.m. Catch up. I catch up on messages during breaks. These expressions help you sound more fluent and natural, not textbook English. Example phrases. Let's put these into real-life sentences. After work, I like to unwind by watching Netflix. I usually grab a snack around 3 p.m. Sometimes I hang out with friends in the afternoon. I try to catch up on emails before dinner. Notice how each sentence uses a verb or phrasal verb plus a time expression. That's the formula we're going for. Activity, daily diary. Now write 3 sentences describing your afternoon routine using some of the vocabulary we just learned. For example, 1. I usually grab a quick lunch around 12:30. 2. After eating, I relax for a while or watch a short video. 3. Sometimes I clean my desk or catch up on messages before going home. Make sure to include a verb or phrasal verb, a time expression, maybe an adverb like usually, sometimes, or often, partner practice or solo. If you have someone to practice with, ask them, what do you usually do when you get home? Or, if you're practicing alone, answer it yourself out loud. Try using different verbs and times. This helps you think faster and speak more naturally. In the next part, we'll cover evening routines, winding down, preparing for bed, and how to describe your night in English. You'll learn how to end your day with calm and confidence in both life and language. Now that you've covered your morning, midday, and afternoon, it's time to talk about how you wind down at the end of the day. Your evening routine is the perfect way to show how you relax, recharge, and prepare for tomorrow, all in natural English. Let's make it sound smooth, personal, and native-like. Example phrases. Here are some real-life sentences you can use. Before bed, I read for 20 minutes. I try not to use my phone late at night. I usually take a warm shower after dinner. Sometimes I journal to clear my mind. I like to plan the next day before I go to sleep. These aren't just actions. They show your habits, your personality, and your lifestyle. Grammar tip. Use the simple present for habits. Remember, when you're talking about things you do regularly, always use the simple present tense. Correct. I usually read before bed. Incorrect. I am usually reading before bed. Also, mix in adverbs like usually, sometimes, rarely, always. And don't forget time expressions. Before bed, after dinner, around 10 p.m., in the evening, activity, nighttime flowchart. Let's build your own nighttime flow step by step. Say something like, after dinner, I clean up the kitchen. Then I watch a show or read a book. Before bed, I set my alarm and turn off my phone. This helps you organize your thoughts and practice speaking in full, connected sentences. Try building your own version out loud. Feelings check-in. Now, think about how you feel at night. Do you feel tired, relaxed, energized, stressed? Then say it clearly. Examples. I always feel relaxed after reading. Sometimes I feel tired even after a short day. I rarely feel sleepy before 11. Adding feelings makes your English more expressive and more native sounding. In the next part, We'll put it all together, from morning to night, and learn how to describe your full daily routine in one smooth paragraph. You're getting close to mastering this skill, so stay tuned. You've learned how to talk about your morning, commute, workday, afternoon habits, and evening routine. Now it's time for the big step. Speaking about your full day in one smooth paragraph. This is where everything comes together: grammar, vocabulary, feelings, opinions, and natural rhythm. And by the end of this part, you'll be able to describe your whole day, from waking up to going to bed, in clear, confident English. Speak like a native. Full day example. Let me give you a full example. Listen carefully, then try repeating it out loud. I usually wake up around 7 o'clock and start my day with coffee. After breakfast, I get ready and leave for work around 8:15. My job starts at 9 o'clock and I usually check emails first thing. After lunch, I have meetings until 2 p.m. In the afternoon, I catch up on tasks and sometimes grab a quick snack. I get home around 6 o'clock and relax for a bit before dinner. After eating, I like to read or watch something. Before bed, I set my alarm and avoid using my phone. I usually go to sleep around 11 o'clock. That was one full day, spoken naturally, with transitions, time expressions, and personal details. Activity: build your own paragraph. Now it's your turn. Use what you've learned so far and build your own daily routine paragraph using this simple structure. Morning. What time do you wake up? What do you do first? Getting ready and commute. How do you get ready and go out? Work/school. What do you do during the day? Afternoon. Lunch, breaks, activities. Evening. Dinner, relaxing, winding down. Before bed. Final routines and feelings. Try putting it all together in one short paragraph, using transition words first, then after that, finally. Time expressions: at 8 o'clock, around noon, before bed. Adverbs of frequency: usually, sometimes, rarely. Feelings and opinions: I feel relaxed, I enjoy. Challenge yourself. Add these 4 elements. Make your paragraph even stronger by including one feeling: I always feel refreshed after my morning walk. One opinion: I prefer working in the morning because I'm more focused. One future plan: tomorrow I'll try waking up earlier. One comparison: I used to stay up late, but now I sleep earlier. These small additions make your English richer and more native-like. In the next part, we'll take it even further and learn some advanced phrases that will help you sound even more fluent and natural. You've already built a full daily routine in English, from morning to night. Now it's time to take your speaking to the next level by using advanced, native-sounding phrases. These are expressions that real English speakers use every day, and they'll help you sound more fluent, natural, and confident. Let's dive in.
Phrases that sound native.
Here are some common advanced phrases you can swap for basic ones. Basic phrase: eat breakfast. Advanced/native version: grab a bite or have a quick bite. Basic phrase: relax. Advanced/native version: wind down/chill out. Basic phrase: get ready. Advanced/native version: get dressed/prep for the day. Basic phrase: go to sleep. Advanced/native version: hit the sack/turn in. Basic phrase: watch TV. Advanced/native version: stream something/binge a show. Using these makes your English sound more like what you'd hear in real life, not just textbook examples. Example sentences using advanced phrases. Let's update your daily routine with some of these expressions. Old version: I eat breakfast at 8 o'clock. Then I relax before bed. New version: I grab a quick bite around 8 o'clock. Later, I wind down by streaming something on Netflix. Another example: after work, I chill out for a bit before dinner.
Or,
I try to hit the sack before 11 to get enough sleep. See how much smoother and more natural that sounds? Activity. Phrase swap game. Let's play a quick game. Take 3 sentences from your daily routine paragraph and swap one verb in each sentence with an advanced phrase.
For example,
Original. I eat lunch at 12:30. Swap it by I grab a bite around 12:30. Original. I relax after work. Swap it by I chill out after work. Original. I go to sleep at 11. Swap it by I hit the sack around 11. This small change will make a big difference in how natural your English sounds. Fluency boosters. Here are a few extra phrases that will help you sound even more fluent. I'm used to. Example. I'm used to waking up early. I prefer to. Example. I prefer to work in the morning. I try to. Example. I try to avoid screens before bed. Use these to add personality, habit, and nuance to your speech. In the next part, we'll switch gears and talk about weekends and how your routine changes when you're not working or studying. You'll learn new weekend-specific verbs and expressions that will help you talk about your free time like a native speaker. So far, you've built your daily routine from morning to night and learned how to sound more fluent using advanced phrases. Now it's time to talk about something different, your weekend routine. Because let's face it, weekends are not like weekdays. You sleep longer, relax more, hang out with friends, or do things you can't do during the week. And when you're speaking English, it's important to know how to describe these differences naturally. Let's learn how to talk about your free time like a native speaker. Vocabulary focus. Weekend-specific verbs. Here are some common verbs used when talking about weekends. Sleep in. I love sleeping in until 9 or 10. Chill. On Saturdays, I just chill at home. Hang out. I usually hang out with friends on Sundays. Go out. Sometimes I go out for brunch or a walk. Prep. I prep meals for the week on Sunday. These verbs help you explain what makes your weekend special and different from your weekday routine. Example phrases. Here are some natural sentences you can use. On weekends, I love sleeping in until 9. I usually spend Sunday preparing for the week. I try to relax more and avoid work on Saturdays. Sometimes I hang out with friends or binge a show. My weekends are slower. I chill, read, or take walks. Notice how each sentence uses a weekend verb plus a time expression or feeling. That's exactly what helps you sound natural. Activity. Weekend versus weekday chart. Let's compare your weekdays and weekends. Make a simple chart like this. Activity. Wake up. Weekday. At 6:30. Weekend. At 6:30. Activity. After waking up. Weekday. Brush teeth. Shower. Get dressed. Weekend. Stay in pajamas. Have coffee slowly. Activity. Use phone. Weekday. Check emails right away. Weekend. Scroll social media for fun. Say each comparison out loud. This helps you practice switching between routines and builds your fluency. Plan your weekend in English. Now, imagine what you'll do tomorrow and describe it in English. Use future tense. For example, tomorrow I'll probably sleep in. Then I'll hang out with friends or watch a movie. In the evening, I'll prep dinner and maybe call my family. This kind of planning practice helps you use English in real-life situations, not just lessons. In the next part, we'll move into Q&A conversation practice, where you'll learn how to answer common questions about your daily routine, fast and confidently. You've built your daily routine, added feelings, opinions, and even described your weekends. Now it's time to practice something super important, answering real questions about your daily life. Because in real conversations, whether you're talking to a friend at a job interview or in class, people ask questions like, what time do you usually wake up? What's your favorite part of the day? How do you relax after work? And today, you'll learn how to answer them quickly and confidently, like a native speaker. Sample questions and answers. Let's go through some common questions and natural responses. 1. What time do you usually wake up? Good answer. I usually wake up around 7 o'clock. I'm not a morning person, but I've gotten used to it. Don't say, I waking up at 7 o'clock. Wrong grammar. Use the simple present tense when talking about habits. 2. What's your favorite part of the day? Good answer. My favorite part is the evening. I love winding down with a book or a show.
Or,
I really enjoy my mornings because I feel fresh and focused. This shows your personality and makes the conversation more engaging. 3. How do you relax after work or school? Good answer. After work, I like to chill for a bit before dinner. Sometimes I watch something or just relax outside.
or,
I try to avoid screens and unwind by going for a short walk. This helps people understand your lifestyle and gives them something to connect with. 4. Do you prefer mornings or evenings? Good answer. I prefer evenings. I feel more relaxed and creative later in the day.
or,
I'm definitely a morning person. I get more done early. These kinds of opinions help you sound like a real person, not just someone memorizing English. Activity. Speed interview. Now, let's do a quick speed interview. I'll ask all 4 questions one after another. Pause the video after each and answer out loud. Ready? 1. What time do you usually wake up? 2. What's your favorite part of the day? 3. How do you relax after work or school? 4. Do you prefer mornings or evenings? Try to answer each one clearly in 1 to 2 sentences. If you're not confident yet, that's okay. Just keep practicing. Fluency comes with repetition. Record and replay. Bonus tip. Record yourself answering these questions. Then play it back and ask, was my grammar correct? Did I speak clearly? Could a native speaker understand me easily? This kind of self-review is powerful and will help you improve faster than just speaking alone. In the next part, we'll take your speaking even further and learn how to switch between past, present, and future tenses when talking about your routine. Because real conversations aren't just about what you do every day. They also include what you did yesterday and what you'll do tomorrow. So far, you've built your daily routine, added feelings and opinions, practiced real Q&A conversations, and even described your weekends. Now it's time to take your English to the next level by learning how to switch between tenses naturally. Because real-life conversations don't just stay in the present. You might talk about what you did yesterday, what you're doing today, or what you plan to do tomorrow. And when you can switch between these easily, you'll sound more fluent, flexible, and native-like. Let's break it down. Grammar focus. Present, past, future. Here's how to describe the same action in all 3 tenses. You use simple present for habits, simple past for what happened yesterday, simple future, will for plans. This structure works for any part of your day. Example sentences across time. Let's look at some natural examples using full sentences. Present. I usually start work at 9. I often relax after dinner.
past,
Yesterday I got up early and had a long meeting. Last weekend I hung out with friends. Future. Tomorrow I'll go for a morning walk. Next week I'm planning to sleep in. See how each sentence keeps the same meaning, but changes tense? That's the key to sounding natural in conversation. Activity. Tense twister drill. Now let's practice switching tenses fast. Take one sentence from your daily routine and change it into past and future. Example. Present. I usually drink coffee in the morning.
past,
Yesterday, I drank coffee in the morning. Future. Tomorrow I'll drink tea instead of coffee. Try this with 3 to 5 different parts of your day. Activity. Timeline talk. Now, describe yesterday, today, and tomorrow in short answers. Try something like, yesterday I woke up late and relaxed most of the day. Today I have meetings and need to focus. Tomorrow I'll try to unwind earlier and maybe watch a movie. This helps you connect your life and language across time, which is exactly what native speakers do every day. In the next part, we'll shift gears again and learn how to measure your progress so you know how much you've improved and where to go next. You'll get a simple checklist to see if you can talk about your whole day without stopping, switch tenses smoothly, express feelings and opinions clearly. You've come a long way. You've built your daily routine, added feelings and opinions, practiced Q&A conversations, and even learned how to switch between tenses. Now it's time for something powerful, measuring your progress. Because when you know what you can already do and what to work on next, your English improves faster and more confidently. Let's see how far you've come. Activity. Self-assessment checklist. Here are 3 key questions to ask yourself. Can I talk about my whole day without stopping? Think. Can you describe your morning, midday, afternoon, and evening? Can you connect those parts into one smooth paragraph? If yes, great job. That means you can tell a full story about your life in English. Can I switch tenses smoothly? Think. Can you talk about what you do, what you did yesterday, and what you will do tomorrow? Clearly and correctly? If yes, you're speaking like a real English speaker, not just memorizing phrases. Can I express feelings and opinions? Think. Do you use phrases like, I feel relaxed, I enjoy, or I prefer naturally? Do you explain why you like or dislike parts of your day? If yes, you're adding personality to your English. And that makes your speaking more engaging and native-like. Goal setting. 1 improvement for next week. Now, pick one thing you want to improve in the next 7 days. Examples. Speak faster without pausing. Use more advanced phrases. Add more feelings and opinions. Practice shadowing every day. Record yourself weekly. Write it down and commit to practicing it daily. Progress doesn't come from doing everything at once. It comes from focusing on one step at a time. In the next part, we'll take a break from grammar and vocabulary and dive into some brain training tips that will help you think in English automatically. You'll learn how to mentally narrate your actions, use sticky notes in English, and train your brain to speak more fluently without extra study time. So far, you've built your daily routine in English, added feelings and opinions, practiced Q&A conversations, and learned how to switch between tenses. But the secret to speaking fluently isn't just studying grammar or memorizing vocabulary. It's about thinking in English automatically. So when you speak, the words come out naturally, without translating in your head. Let's learn how to do that. Tip number 1. Mentally narrate your actions. This is one of the most effective ways to start thinking in English, and it's super simple. As you go through your day, talk to yourself in English, silently, about what you're doing. Examples. I'm brushing my teeth. I'm making coffee. I'm getting ready for work. Now I'm checking my messages. You don't need to say it out loud. Just narrate your life like a movie voiceover in English. This trains your brain to connect actions with language, and over time, your thoughts will shift from your native language to English automatically. Activity. Mindful minute. Try this quick exercise. Set a timer for 60 seconds, and during that time, think only in English. Talk to yourself mentally about what you're doing right now. I'm watching a video. I'm learning how to talk about my daily routine. I feel focused. I understand most of what Alex is saying. That's just 60 seconds, but it builds real mental muscle. Do this once a day and watch your fluency improve. Tip number 2. Use sticky notes in English. Another great way to train your brain is to label everyday objects around your house with their English names. For example, put a sticky note on your mirror, mirror, on your coffee mug, on your laptop, laptop. On your fridge. Fridge. At first, it might feel silly, but over time, your brain starts seeing those items and instantly thinking of them in English. This helps reduce translation and speeds up your speaking. Tip number 3, replace mental translation. Most learners translate from their native language to English before speaking. But here's the trick. Instead of thinking in your language and then translating, try thinking directly in English. When you want to say something, ask yourself, what's the simplest way to say this in English? Can I describe it if I don't know the exact word? The more you practice this, the faster your brain switches into English mode, and the more natural your speaking becomes. In the next part, we'll explore some tech tools that can help you improve even faster, from apps that help with pronunciation to platforms where you can practice real conversations. So far, you've built your daily routine in English, practiced real conversations, learned how to think in English automatically, and even started measuring your progress. Now it's time to add something powerful to your learning routine. Tech tools that help you improve faster. Because when you use the right apps and platforms, you can practice listening, speaking, vocabulary, and pronunciation anytime, anywhere. Let's look at the best ones for English learners like you. Top apps for language learning. Here are some of the most effective apps to boost your English skills. Anki, flashcards that stick. Helps you memorize vocabulary long-term. Create custom flashcards or download shared decks. Uses spaced repetitions so you remember what you learn. Speechling. Improve your pronunciation. Practice speaking and get feedback from native speakers. Compare your voice to native recordings. Great for sounding more natural and confident. Hello Talk. Language exchange made easy. Chat with native English speakers who want to learn your language. Practice writing, voice messages, and real-time conversations. Learn slang, expressions, and cultural tips.
Shadowing apps or platforms.
Shadowing is one of the best ways to sound like a native speaker. Try these tools. YouTube. Find English vlogs or lessons and repeat after the speaker. Spotify podcasts. Listen to short episodes and mimic the rhythm and tone. TikTok clips. Watch short English videos and shadow them daily. These are perfect for improving your intonation, rhythm, and fluency, all while having fun.
Tech challenge.
Now it's your turn to take action. Choose one tool from this list and use it for just 5 minutes every day. For example, spend 5 minutes on Anki reviewing vocabulary. Use Speechling to record and compare a sentence from your daily routine. Try shadowing a TikTok clip or YouTube video. Small, consistent practice builds big results. In the next part, we'll wrap up everything you've learned by doing a final challenge where you'll tell your full daily routine story in English. You'll learn how to structure it, add personality, and even record and share it with others. You've learned so much in this series. You've built your morning routine, added commuting and work details, described your afternoon and evening habits, practiced weekends, answered real questions, switched tenses, and even trained your brain to think in English. Now it's time for the final challenge. Telling your full daily routine story in English. This is where everything comes together. Grammar, vocabulary, rhythm, feelings, opinions, and fluency. And by the end of this part, you'll have a complete, natural-sounding paragraph that describes your life, from waking up to going to bed. Let's make it personal, powerful, and proud. Activity, storytelling mode. Here's how to structure your daily routine story. 1. Introduce yourself briefly. My name is your name, and I'm from your country. This is what my day usually looks like. 2. Walk through your day. Use transition words. First,
Then.
after that, later, finally. Include time expressions, adverbs of frequency, feelings and opinions, advanced phrases if possible. 3. End with a personal touch. That's my day. How about yours?
Or,
What does your daily routine look like? This makes your speaking more engaging and conversation ready. Example story, pause, and shadow read. Here's an example you can use as a model. Pause the video and repeat after me.
E.
I'm Maria and I live in Spain. I usually wake up around 7 o'clock and start my day with coffee. After breakfast, I get ready and leave for work around 8:15. I take the train, which takes about 20 minutes. At work, I check emails first thing, then focus on my main tasks. After lunch, I have meetings until 2 p.m. In the afternoon, I catch up on smaller jobs and sometimes grab a snack. I get home around 6 o'clock and relax before dinner. I love reading or watching something light in the evening. Before bed, I set my alarm and try not to use my phone. I usually go to sleep around 11 o'clock. That's my day. How about yours? Try shadowing this, then build your own version using your real routine. Bonus activity: record and share. If you're serious about improving, do this. Record yourself saying your daily routine story. Then, watch it back. Listen to your pronunciation and rhythm. Ask, can a native speaker understand me clearly? Make one small improvement and re-record. Bonus. Share a video with a friend. Practice speaking out loud makes all the difference. You did it! You made it to the final part of this video series. Let's take a quick look at everything you've learned and celebrate how far you've come. Summary of key points. Here are the main skills you built today.
grammar,
Use the simple present tense for daily habits. Mastered adverbs of frequency. Always, usually, often, sometimes, rarely, never. Practice tense switching. Past, present, future. Vocabulary. Learn time expressions at 7 a.m. after breakfast, before bed. Added feelings and opinions. I feel relaxed. I enjoy. I prefer. Used phrasal verbs and advanced phrases. Wind down, grab a bite, chill out. Covered morning, midday, afternoon, evening, and weekend routines. Speaking skills. Built full paragraphs about your day. Practiced real Q&A conversations. Improved fluency by thinking in English. Trained your brain using shadowing and mental narration. You didn't just memorize phrases. You built a complete way to talk about your life in English. That's powerful. Being able to describe your daily routine might seem simple, but it's actually one of the most important skills in English.
why,
Because it helps you build confidence speaking naturally. Practice grammar and vocabulary in context. Connect with people in real-life conversations. Prepare for job interviews, school, travel, and more. And best of all, once you can talk about your day, you can build from there to talk about your goals, your dreams, and your experiences. You've made it to the end, and I'm so proud of you. You've built your daily routine in English from scratch. You've practiced grammar, vocabulary, speaking, listening, and even trained your brain to think in English. This isn't just another lesson. This is a real-life skill you can use every day. Remember, small daily practice equals big results. It's not about being perfect right away. It's about showing up, practicing consistently, and using what you learn in real life. Every time you describe your day, answer a question, or switch tenses, you're building stronger, more natural English. And that's something to be proud of. If you enjoyed this video,
like it.
subscribe if you haven't already, and leave a comment with your biggest challenge when talking about your daily routine. I read every comment, and I'll help you overcome it in future videos. Thanks for being here today.
Keep practicing.
Stay confident. And remember, every sentence you speak brings you one step closer to fluency. I'll see you next time. Bye for now, and keep speaking English every day.